back-to-back segments with live guests in the studio. Joining us from the Alpharetta Police Department, Lieutenant Jason Carter. Lieutenant, good morning. Thanks for coming in, my friend.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
I have so many questions I want to talk to you about law enforcement. First off, give us your background. How long you been in law enforcement, and how long you been with Alpharetta?
I've been policing for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So I'm old AF, as the kids would say.
You don't look old enough to be a 30-year veteran.
I appreciate it. It's probably the stress-free living.
Okay.
And so I've been with Alpharetta about 19 years.
Okay.
Before that, I was with Norcross Police. And in the very beginning, I started working in the jail, thinking that's where I could do the best good, the best outreach.
All of my best friends from college went into law enforcement, and they've all been in 30 years, and they're all retiring. Are you close to retirement age?
I could have pulled the plug back in August, but I still enjoy the
love
job.
it.
I still show up early for work, and I'm still operational. So, yeah, I love it.
All right, so 19 years in Alpharetta. Let's talk about just the boom of Alpharetta. Back when I started at WSB Radio in 1997, and we would rarely fly the traffic helicopter up to Alpharetta because that was still kind of like the boondocks. Like, once a month we'd fly to and now it's a big city. There's been so much growth in Alpharetta. How has policing changed in Alpharetta with this explosion in population and growth?
It's funny you mentioned that. Growing up in Sandy Springs, my first home was in Alpharetta back in '93, and I bought this condo for $50,000, and my mortgage was $409. I didn't know how I was going to make that payment every month. But moving forward and ahead, we've had so much growth and development because it's such a desirable place to be. It's brought in the daytime population of a lot of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's tremendous. We're the IT capital of the world. It says so. And our nighttime population has actually caught up. So the growth is tremendous. But what that means is we just need more protection, more police, more people out there, more eyes in the streets.
Has with the increase in population, you mentioned a nighttime population. It's a great place to go out for drinks and dinner. The downtown area, the square, it's phenomenal. Has the manpower in the police department kept up with the population increase?
Sure. So we look at the amount of people we have visiting the city that live in the city as well. And yeah, we've been growing as the city's been growing. Could we use more officers? Sure, always.
Yeah.
But needing more police is kind of a nationwide issue right now, not just an us issue. So yeah, there's shortages amongst most agencies right now.
Interesting. Lieutenant Jason Carter from Alpharetta Police Department joining us live in the Mark Arum Show. So 30 years in, I've been at WSB, it'll be 29 years in August, so we're on similar career paths. And the technological changes in radio, we haven't experienced them firsthand, Deborah, because we're still in the 1998 studios. But I would imagine every time and I'm a fan. You got to watch, by the way, Legend, Deborah, right, on Netflix.
On Netflix, yes.
So Deborah and I love crime shows and CIA shows and FBI shows, and we're in that. And this is set in the late 80s, early 90s.
No, early 90s.
Early 90s. And I'm like, well, they couldn't get away with that crime in 2026. Like there'd be a camera there. Talk about the technological advances when it comes to policing in the last 30 years.
So yeah, technological advances. Probably one of the best tools we have at our disposal right now are the body cams. A lot of people pushed for them 10 plus years ago. Yeah. We all wear them. Best thing out there. It really is.
And protects the officer as well as whomever.
Protects everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's 100%. It's awesome. But yeah, there's cameras everywhere. We've got real-time crime centers or real-time information centers. Most agencies have. Most agencies have intel analysts that will sit back and they will dialogue with address different chatters of what may be going on coming up in the city, things like that. So we try to stay on top of a lot. Yeah.
Interesting. So that's like it was unheard of 30 years ago, right? To have that kind of intel.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. And just the proliferation of the security cameras too. I saw one of my Facebook friends posted, and this probably helps policing too, is all the doorbell cameras out there. So this is a couple I know, they live in upstate New York, and someone was fleeing a police stop, and they crashed into my friend's minivan in their driveway, and it was all caught on their doorbell camera. And I was like, well, that's all the evidence that the police are needing. I would imagine that makes life a lot easier and probably a lot harder for criminals these days.
It does. The neighborhood canvas means more now than it ever has been. We will send officers door to door, knocking on doors, checking Ring cameras or whatever system they have, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, remarkable. We mentioned earlier we're. I don't know about excited. I know Deborah, as a soccer fan, is excited about the World Cup. I'm a little, hesitant to embrace it because I know there's going to be an influx of people. Will the World Cup fever spread as far north as Alpharetta? Are you guys doing anything special to prepare for that?
Sure. We are conducting a mutual aid with the city of Atlanta where we're going to donate some officers to them, as will a lot of other agencies. So we all have some buy-in in this program. And yes, we're actually going to increase patrol and be more visible during this event. We've done this before, though. We were here for the 96 Olympics. We were here for the G8 Summit. We're here. Atlanta's a great town, and we're a great host. And we host a lot of major events. Like it or not, people are coming.
Is the state of law enforcement in 2026, again, all my best friends went into New York State Trooper, New York City Detective, the Marshal system. Like I've got tentacles everywhere. And especially in the beginning times when my friends were just starting out in the New York Police Department, they talked a lot about they needed their side jobs to make ends meet, right? You were paying $400 for your mortgage. Sure. Is that something that Alpharetta police officer are allowed to do? Can an officer, off-duty officer, get hired at Vinny's Hookah Bar to work the door or work security? Is that still something that is prevalent in the industry?
Absolutely. It's back in the day we called it moonlighting.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so what it is, it's an extra job or an extra detail where somebody, you'll see us at churches. You'll see it at movie theaters on the weekends.
Yeah.
But you'll see us out there where we can help direct traffic or help out with security to just deter any type of negative activity. But the benefit of that for the community is if something bad pops off, we stop with the extra detail and we go into service.
Yeah.
So you've got at our disposal at any given time at any night in Alpharetta, I can always pull from 7 to 10 officers that are working these extra jobs to come help out in the streets if need be.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah. And again, with mutual aid on the north end, you've got Johns Creek, Milton, Sandy Springs, and Roswell. We call each other pretty frequently, and we really don't know any jurisdictional boundaries when it comes to safety of the community.
So again, you're working the moonlighting job at Vinny's Hookah Bar.
Sure.
And something goes down on Windward Parkway, and you're a half mile away. Sorry, Vinny, I got to go. And
absolutely.
Respond to this call.
They know that going in. They know that we are police officers first. We are going to serve the community regardless. We'll handle the issue. We'll come back when we can, and it happens.
Lieutenant Jason Carter joining us live in studio on the Mark Arum Show. All right, 30 years in, there's got to be a couple of moments, whether good or bad, that stand out in what you've done in servicing the community. What are some of the things that just jump to mind in your experience?
Just a few months ago, we were called to a neighboring city because we had a 14-year-old who grabbed her mom's gun and she was going to shoot her mom. She was caught with a THC vape. She was already in the juvenile system. She had an ankle monitor, and she felt at 14 that this was the way to go. She was going to shoot her mom and shoot any law enforcement that came up. So being a negotiator on our North Fulton SWAT team, I get to call a few of us show up. As we said, I'm 55. I'm old, and this girl's 14 years old. Long story short, I had to devise a plan that I could try to negotiate with her and get her out. It's a long event, which we don't have time for, but at the end of it, just based on some of my knowledge, my training, and my experiences, we were able to get her out safely.
Wow.
And at the end of it, pull her aside, sit on the front porch with her, and have a slice of pizza and just kind of BS with her for a little bit. Because my theory with that is when you're 14, you're going through some changes as a girl. It's a weird stage, 14 to 50. I'm kidding. But you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Puberty and the growth and whatnot.
Yeah.
But what I was able to do is deal with her because we'll probably have to deal with her again to some capacity. And I don't want her to hate the police. I want her to say that Lieutenant Carter, that Officer Jason, man, he was a pretty bad dude. He was cool. I'll talk to him again.
Yeah.
Because we deal with people in this profession time and time again. Everybody's a tough guy. Everybody's hard. But at the end of the day, they call 911 and we come every time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not tough. I'm not hard. I will call 911. And that's what I said. I'm 52. Knock on wood, I've never had to call 911. I'm living a blessed life. If I made it 52 years deep and not have to call 911, I'm living life right. How long have you done that negotiating? That seems like a special skill set.
It is. It's a special skill set. I've had a great run, a great career, and I've been on the SWAT team. I was a SWAT team leader at one point. I started focusing on negotiations a little over 10, 11 years ago. And you wouldn't think that we have much to do in Alpharetta, but do we have a lot of hostage calls? We don't. Mm-hmm. Do we have a lot of people in crisis that feel they're going to end it right then? We do.
Yeah.
I dealt with somebody who works for a major corporation here in Atlanta. He was like number 3 in the business. And, this guy's got a $1.9 million house, and he was about to, end his wife and his kids and himself because he felt that was the right way. So we assembled our team, and we were able to just slow things down a little bit and just show him a little bit of let's break things down by the numbers. And at the end of it, he was able to come out. Now I'm talking. This is a guy who does $1 million deals for breakfast.
Yeah.
But yet he was thinking the end is near, And that is the stuff you're not going to see on CNN or Fox. That's not the stuff that's going to talk about. That's the stuff we do. We punch our time clock. We help people. We move on to the next call. So that's some of the good.
You never know what someone's going through.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's interesting. All right. I've never done this. And it's been 15 years since I've been pulled over. And I just, for verification, I should never, if I get pulled over, I should never pull the "don't you know who I am" card, right? That is the last thing to do.
I had somebody say that to me once.
Really?
Yeah, and I asked if his parents didn't tell him. So yeah, the reality is, if you get pulled over, and we're all going to get pulled over, and I wish we had more kids listening, more 16 to 18-year-olds who need this.
We all wish that more kids were listening to the Mark Arum Show. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe not 16, but like 20 to 30, yeah.
A bigger market. No, but the moral of the story is, you're going to get pulled over. Immediately pull over to the right, do it where it's safe, turn on your dome light, roll your windows down. The officer will approach you and introduce themselves and explain why they're stopping. It's generally not a big deal. And if it's a warning, great. If it's a ticket, take your ticket and let's talk about it in court.
Yeah.
There's no sense arguing on the side of the road, and we don't care who your mom is, and we don't care who you are. Just you go with it, and it's wild because we have to train our officers how to speak to people, because we hire a lot of young adults. We hire some 21 to 22-year-olds that live in mom's basement.
Yeah.
That probably still have mom doing laundry and making lasagna for them.
Absolutely.
And now we've got to go into somebody's $1 million house and deal with them, or do a traffic stop with a guy in a $600,000 car or whatever. So it goes both ways, but yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. So again, knock on wood, I haven't been pulled over for 15 years. I was coming into work at 3, 4 in the morning, and I admit it. I did a rolling stop through a stop sign. Atlanta police officer pulled me over, license, registration. I handed it to him. And he looks at it, he goes, "Are you the traffic guy?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "All right, I'm going to let you go. Just make sure you tell everyone to drive safely today." So I came into the work, and every 10 minutes on Channel 2, I'm like, "And make sure you drive safe out there. Make sure." But I would never be that guy, be like, "Come on, do you know who I am?"
Right.
Yeah.
But isn't that awesome, though? It was super simple. He pulled you over to let you know. He gave you a warning, and now you're able to spread the good word.
Yeah. And I've never done a rolling stop through a stop sign ever again.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. If recruiting, are you guys currently active recruiting for new officers?
We are trying to. We've had a hard time since COVID. A lot of people dropped out of the business. It actually goes back to the recession of 2008, but I don't think we have that kind of time. But the reality is, if you're a certified officer and you are actually good and you don't have any baggage in your background, we're going to give you a $20,000 sign-on bonus just for walking in the door.
You're finishing the show.
Okay.
$20K.
Yeah, right.
$20K. We want to hire quality people. We've hired a lot of young adults, which are fantastic, but we need people with experience, people that have done the job.
Yeah.
There's always a police officer out there that is mad at an overbearing administrator, and we'll take them.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah. I still think I could have been a detective in another life. I watch these detective shows.
Oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. With the ID channel, if you watch 2 seasons and 2 episodes of Cops, you're
qualified.
certified. Yeah, you're in.
LT, Lieutenant Jason Carter, Alpharetta Police. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate you having us.
And
Thank
keep
you so
everyone
much.
safe out there.
Roger that.
Yes.